All right, what is going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome to our Monday night online stream. This is our online open mic, aka the stay-at-home open mic, something we've been running since April of 2020, every single Monday. So tonight, you guys get to be part of that tradition. If this is your first time tuning in, hello, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Love having you guys here. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host tonight. Help kind of guide you along our wonderful list of performers, of writers, poets, musicians, beat makers, people just trying to create a little something in this universe. We are live and alive in the 915 El Paso, Texas, Chuco town. So the Barbed Open Mic series is based out of El Paso, Texas, but we do extend shows to Las Cruces region. And if you are in that region, we do have in-person shows up to two or three every single week. So just so you guys know, if you do want to join us this week, so if you're watching live, you still have an opportunity to check out these shows. Tuesday, tomorrow, we are going to be at Rosewood Bar over there on San Antonio Street for our Verse and Harmony open mic, which is open to poetry and any kind of music and any kind of writing that is. That's the verse and that's the harmony. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. and then the show starts a little after 9, depending on how full the list gets. And I'll just a fair bit of warning, and I guess this is a summer thing. The lists have been filling up like pretty easily. So if you want to perform early, make sure to get there early. Like I said, that starts at 8 p.m. I'm usually there setting up around 6:30 or so. So if you want to help me with setting up the stage, learning any of that kind of production, then will gladly accept it. That also includes for setting stuff, putting stuff away at the end of the show, at the end of the night, which is usually after midnight at some point. These are late nights. I also just started teaching summer school classes, so that's going to be fun, waking up and teaching. I love that part. But if any students are tuning in, just say um, just say hello in the chat. Actually, anyone tuning in, love to see who you guys are there. Unlike a traditional in-person show where we see our audience, we can't see you. We don't know who's there. So it's always nice when you say hello and hang out and leave comments in the chat. If there's any lines that you really love, any images or metaphors that struck you in any particular way, maybe you could relate, maybe you learned something new. It's always fun to hear from you guys, is what I'm saying. And of course, if you are tuning in and it's not Monday, if this is not live, this is the replay. It's our future. It's your present. Leave a comment. Leave a comment for all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, so Tuesday we'll be at Rosewood. We alternate every Tuesday between Rosewood and Monobar right next to each other. Wednesday is the return of Storycraft at Crown of Crows. That is our bi-weekly storytelling event where up to four names are chosen by random. We have a golden chalice. I'm calling it the chalice of stories, where if you want to sign up, you put your name, crumple it up into a piece of paper and throw it in there. And we do a whole goblet of fire ritual. Fernando pulls out the name and very dramatically, in his golden voice, announces who will be reading. It's a whole lot of fun. Whoever gets selected gets up to 15 minutes to share a piece of prose, of fiction, nonfiction, any kind of story. It could even be off of the top. We've had people share off of the top stories of memories. It could be a script, right? It could be, any kind of story. Storytelling is what we want to celebrate. Okay. And then after that, you get up to 15 minutes of audience feedback and Q&A. It's a really cool, we have a wireless mic that we pass around. It's a really good way to kind of work on your craft. That's something we've been trying to do. Hence it's Storycraft. That one does start early. Okay. We start sign up at 6:30 and then the first name is drawn at 7 p.m. So if that is super early, you can show up anytime you want. You also don't have to participate. You can just show up and listen. It's a cool little spot. It's a nice little tavern to hang out and share our love for storytelling. That's really what it is. And it's fun because Fernando hosts that. I usually take photo and videos. And Thursday, check it out. If you're a songwriter in the El Paso region, come join us at Café con Leche for our collaboration with EP Take the Stage. It's an awesome group of a music series, people who highlights like local and traveling musicians. That's going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Like I said, Café con Leche on Wyoming Street. And really what it's a workshop and a mixer. So if you want to meet other singer-songwriters, musicians, just bring your instrument, bring something to write with, whether it be a pen and pencil, a notepad, an iPad, whatever you use to create. Bring that stuff with you. Plus, if you have like business cards, stickers, any way in which you network with others, bring that, and of course your imagination and open mind. The first one we did was super fun 2 months ago. We alternate. That one is alternating months, so we skip a month, but that's on our page if you want to follow that. And just as a little bit of a preview ahead, the following 2 weeks of the month on Thursdays. Thursday is going to be next. The 24th is going to be Rally Point Coffee on the East Side, hosted by my friend Jez. She always does a great job. Ed always makes an appearance. It's always fun. We make sure to take a nice photo of him so you can post online. And then the last Thursday of the month is our open mic at Old Sheepdog Brewery, hosted by Kit Wren, who is in this very Zoom room as well. And a little bit of a bittersweet show with that feature, but we'll hold off on announcing that for now. Let's go ahead and start this thing. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Let us know you're here. Say hello in the chat. I'll give you shout outs, by the way. So, shout out to Julian Matthews. Thanks for letting me know. Julian Matthews is in the chat, but we'll also be performing a bit later. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off. We are going to be traveling around. Like I mentioned, we're based in El Paso, but because of the internet, we're going to be able to, at a snap of a finger, be anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. And we're going to start off in Denver with our friend Mike Sindler. And Mike, it's always good to see you. I know it's been a rough one, but for different reasons. It's always great when you get to start off the show. And so when you're ready, I'll go ahead and pass the mic to you. Take it away.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that very much. It is really amazing listening to some of the other things that y'all are doing. It's man, y'all are kicking some ass down there. Another thing that's doing some good stuff, based out of here in Denver, but a lot of stuff online that you can take part in is lighthouseriders.org, which I always talk about and talk about all the great things they got going on as far as classes and workshops and stuff. They do have some really nice community building things too. I specifically want to mention writing in color and queer creatives, which I think are just incredibly positive groups that if people want to check those out, they're right there on that site. I'm going to start out with a poem. People know that the great hotel on the edge of the Grand Canyon burned down, and there's just a lot of fires going on throughout the West, including here in Colorado. So I'm going to read this one called Dancing Upwind. These are not true colors of sunset, merging muted, silent gray, fluttering ash, pollen of fire, silent sacrifice of wildlife, curved orange lines drawn, mourns brown, green hills, turned carbon black stubble, beard at 5 o'clock shadow, lit lashes, heat mirrors, red bald fall of day, burn, smolder, flake loose, cops throw, entwined bone and bark high into infirm firmament, charcoal covers pastel, smooth smear smothers day, dusting dusk, poison paint, dry brush, elemental pigment, loose silk absorbs soot. These are dull but angry hues, disguised, ragged, costumed, mad trickster let loose on mountains, smoking soil, dancing upwind. And I have not been writing a lot over the last several weeks for various reasons, but this is one that I have written recently called Old South. Tar and tobacco, cotton and palmetto, red clay and cola. I can smell them in my sleep. Sweat and more sweat yet. Something's gone, can stay forgotten. Magnolia and azalea, look away, look away. Lightning bolt hit a giant pine and it cracked straight down in half. Smelled like hell and turpentine for acres all around. Kudzu growing so fast you think it must have magic. Grabs red earth and makes it green. It takes its stand, it takes its stand. Tried to sell it off for firewood, couldn't get any takers. Made a good home for black widows. Sometimes there's a gift in hiding. Lies and crystallized lies. Nightmares on horseback bolted into concrete. Look away, look away. And I'm going to do one more of mine just because where we're at, I just felt like I want to do this. It's called Fix What You Can Fix. At least fix what you can fix. When you cannot fix it all, there will always be conflicts. The world runs on conflicts. Living hits everybody hard. Time can't be herded or held. We cobble tents back together to weather the tempest. Okay, and I put the hat on today with a really heavy heart. Um, we lost one of the great poets today. I hope I can get through this. We lost Colorado's poet laureate, Andrea Gibson. Um, and I'm going to start by reading a quote by her. Whenever I leave this world, whether it's 60 years from now, I wouldn't want anyone to say I lost some battle. I'll be a winner that day. So Andrea is a winner today, but I can't help but feel just such a huge loss. I'm sorry, I just can't. So I'm going to read this poem by them called How the Worst Day of My Life Became the Best. And the epigraph is, when you are trapped in a nightmare, your motivation to awaken will be so much greater than that of someone caught up in a relatively pleasant dream. Eckhart Tolle. When I realized the storm was inevitable, I made it my medicine. Took 2 snowflakes on the tongue in the morning, 2 snowflakes on the tongue by noon. There were no side effects, only sound effects. Reverb added to my lifespan, an echo that asks, what part of your life's record is skipping? What wound is on repeat? Have you done everything you can to break out of that groove? By nighttime, I was intimate with the difference between tying my laces and tuning the string section of my shoes, made a symphony of walking away from everything that did not want my life to sing. Felt a love for myself so consistent, metronomes tried to copyright my heartbeat. Finally understood I am the conductor of my own life and will be even after I die. I, like the trees, will decide what I become. Porch swing, church pew, an envelope that must be licked to be closed. Kinky choice, but I didn't close. I opened and opened until I could imagine that the pain was the sensation of my spirit not breaking, that my mind was a parachute that could always open in time, that I could wear my heart on my sleeve and never grow out of that shirt, that every falling leaf is a tiny kite with a string too small to see, held by the part of me in charge of making beauty out of grief. So we say goodbye to the incredible Andrea Gibson. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. That was a tough one to hear today. Gave a little tribute as well. Thanks for reading that, man, and guiding us through it. If you guys have not had a chance to experience Andrea Gibson's book, go check them out on YouTube on poetry. Maybe there'll be more tributes today, but yeah. Thanks for that, Mike. Also want to give a shout out to Sandy. Hello in the chat. We also got John in the house. Hey, John. Ed's there. We'll be reading in a moment, but let's go ahead and keep this thing going. We got a lot of writers, like I mentioned. We got a lot of poets. We have some musicians. Hopefully, we had some fun tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to Greenfield, Massachusetts, like that in a snap. There we are. And now we're going to bring up our next performer. Is going to share a little of poetry, a little bit a cappella in his style. We have Storm up next on the mic. So, Storm, go ahead and take it away when you're ready. Hey,
Thank you. All right. Yeah, is my fan interfering or can I keep it on?
seems fine.
Okay, good. It's 80% humidity here right now. It's 72 degrees at 11 o'clock at night. So it's crazy. Okay, well, today is Woody Guthrie's birthday, among other things. So I put this piece together. So this is my piece with a part that's not my own. Notes from somewhere. I'm traveling looking for home again. My life's packed in cardboard boxes, recorded in postcards I never send. Dear Dad, I miss our arguments. Dear Mom, misery never wins. Dear love, someday I will return. Motel rooms hold me till dawn, sometimes longer, depending on my mood, the weather, my reason for leaving, heading out, once more moving on. I've got to know, friend, I've got to know. Hungry lips ask me wherever I go. Comrades and friends are falling around me. I've got to know, friend, I've got to know. Why do your warships sail on my waters? Why do your bombs fall down from my skies? Why do you burn my farms and my cities? I've got to know, friend. I've got to know why. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Hungry lips ask me wherever I go. Comrades and friends all falling around me. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Why do your boats haul death to my people? Nitro explosives, missiles, and drones. Why doesn't your ship bring some food and warm clothing? I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Hungry lips ask me wherever I go. Comrades and friends all falling around me. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Why can't my two hands get a fine pay job? I can still work to pay what I owe. Why close my plant down and starve all my people? I'm asking you now, 'cause I've sure got to know. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Hungry lips ask me wherever I go. Comrades and friends all falling around me. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. You keep me in jail and you lock me in prison. Your hospitals jam. Homeless shelters are full. What made your cop kill my trade union worker? I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. Hungry lips ask me wherever I go. Comrades and friends all falling around me. I've got to know, friend. I've got to know. The line about drones is from Magpie. The rest of the song is Woody Guthrie's. The poem was mine. Yay. And it's also Bastille Day. And it's also my friend Fryer's birthday. So I actually lived in France for 6 weeks in 1974, and I used to be rarely fluent in speaking it. At one point, I actually wrote some poems in it, most of which have either been lost or forgotten, but this short one I still remember. Avec ta tête sur tes genoux, tu ressembles une fleur qui attend seulement le matin d'ouvrir et sourire. With your head on your knees, you resemble a flower that awaits only the morning to open and smile. Wendy is a doctor. Tommy is a nurse. April loves bikes and leather. Daniel wears a purse. And the world turns round. Every night and every day, a baby comes to someone to touch a life some way. Philip is a jockey. Angel loves to dance. Claudette lives in Vermont. Sashi lives in France. And the world turns round every night and every day. And God loves all God's children, straight, celibate, or gay. Patty hugs a teddy bear. Stephen chugs a beer. Michael stares at shadows. Lindsay's eyes are clear. And the world turns round every night and every day. And everyone is someone who has something to say. Samuel raises Chelsea. Helen lives alone. Doris owns a business. Darren has no home. And the world turns round every night and every day. A baby comes to someone to touch a life some way, to touch a life some way. Okay, and my final piece, summer vacations. One, my mother sits by the harbor cabin and amazed that I can get so dirty informs me plainly that she will not have my seashore treasures inside. Two, bees feast, explore deep inside relinquished shells and move about the skeletons of urchins. Three, down on the wharf, I play tug of war with a gullible bird who can't comprehend that the pollock it's swallowed is still attached to my fishing rod. Tactfully, I make the bird take a dive. Four, a boat comes in loaded with barrels full of lobsters, a bucket of crabs, and a live shark. Some girl seeks to pet it and goes home bleeding. Five, then there was the fish packing truck, red bait rotting in salt sheds, listening for the bell buoy in a storm and searching for the bodies of two drowned. Six, I balance over smoothly worn rocks, pop seaweed between my toes, and follow a faded boy's tracks out to holes where angel wing and razor clams squirt the spray of pirate ships and breaking waves. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Storm. Appreciate that. Man, I clapped really loud right now and I think I scared my cat. Yes, please feel free to share your links with everyone here in Zoom, and then I'll forward those on YouTube if you'd like. Awesome, awesome. What's going on, online peeps? If you're just tuning in, this is our online mic. We're here every Monday. If you want to join us, or if you feel like you maybe want to read anything tonight, there's a link to sign up in the description of this video. But in addition to that is all our social media stuff. If you have not had a chance to follow us, please do so. In addition to being online every Monday, We have in-person shows at various venues throughout the city. And I want to give a shout out to the Prospector, our local newspaper. I just saw that they put out an article on the open mic, so that's really fun. We'll be sharing that, I guess, in the next couple of days. Shout out to Samuel Wilson as well. And okay, we have let's come back to El Paso, right? Like I said, we're gonna be traveling all around, but we do have a lot of El Paso performers as well. And our first of the night also works with the El Paso Poetry Workshop group. We'll share that link so you guys, if you're interested in checking that out. But like I mentioned, he loves to make his appearances at our Rally Point Coffee Mic on the east side. Everyone, this is Ed Gonzalez, Jedi. All right, Ed, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you very much. Happy Monday, Monday regulars, YouTube. Something too I've been working on in sort of the model of Ed Poetastic, making the most of Monday. I'm pretty sure that's nowhere near his level, but I mean, I'm trying. I'm starting. I'm working on my rhyming. But anyway, I'm going to try to be as quickly as possible. I went to Ardovino's and I pizzaed up too much, and I got a free root beer too. So I'm moving slowly, but I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to read real quick. I got two of the tumble words, which was awesome. The great Maria Perez, and two covers. So I'm going to get to it. It was a really good one. Anyway, my first one is entitled Toys. And like I said, it was the tumble words with Maria Perez. I've always prized my toys, cleaned and polished my G.I. Joes and their Humvee, as well as the former battalion of the Lincoln Heights Plastic Soldier Unit, a casualty of the Great Backyard War of 1970, and an introduction of a bottle of rubbing alcohol. Oh, the humanity. And after what was called proper retribution, and subsequent cleanup, orders came from upon high that never purchase never future armories or soldiery has been prohibited. I kept remaining toys in an old cigar box, which I still have today, and my current and former contemplation room has been renamed the toy room by my grandchildren, who post action figures over my shoulder for the BWOMS performances every Sunday, and also use it for some ekphrastic poetry work. All right. And my second one is entitled Dolls. Again, tumble words with Maria Perez. My mother will be featured in a great deal of these TWs, tumble words, as she was like the Lord, the Alpha and the Omega. She hated dolls too. But being the number 5 sibling on the total sibling totem pole, I completed my task and got the hell out of there. To my neighbor's house across the street, I did some covert work for them tending rabbits. And they had a great house on the hill. They also had a doll room. I was terrified. I walked past the room very quickly. Their daughter, Karina, showed me once, my eyes wide open, glazed over in fear. The kind of dolls that looked like they were ready to say something. And I wasn't going to stick around to find out what that was. And I returned for the money and for Ms. Karina. She was a goddess. I'm not sure what love was at that time, but I liked being there. Plus, she smelled great. After she would let me roam through the vineyard up on the hill with my G.I. Joe and Humvee in tow. So who was I to complain? Swoon. Okay, those were my tumble words. And now I have two short ones. This one by Thad Devassi from this book. Amateur Cosmology. You are my mute and orange companion, hovering along the convex wall of your tiny round bowl atop the disheveled Pembroke table, reading my paper, transfixed to my telly with loyal metonymy. I question if you question when the laugh track is off and when the show has jumped the shark, if Ronco products are as good as advertised. What if you're Stephen Hawking? You're of the Stephen Hawkings of guppies, a savant of a fish with accumulated knowledge, whose tiny bubbles rising to the surface can be decoded and revealed in this brief history of in time for the good of the species. It's a lot to philosophize before the net arrives, before the commode lid is raised, and before the final lap in the windowless bowl reveals the big flush and a black hole into oblivion. Dad Devassi. Okay, I got one. My final piece is from the Boundless 2025 and by an old homer, Jonathan Fletcher. Anger is sometimes a form of prayer. The way he lies more than the devil, the way he talks about the stranger, the way his policies treat the widow and the orphan, the way he sells the gospel for $59.99. My fingers tighten as if for prayer. What if I can't make myself pray for him? Did Jesus bless Pilate? I'm sometimes more Roman than Christian. I'm sometimes more Old Testament. Forget the plowshares, forget the Matthew 5:44. Give me the helmet and spear and shield. Fingers to fist, fist to sword, sword to sword, me a sword. And yet I can't forgive you, peacemaker, or the way they made you feel with want to be one with the wood, or the way you leaked water and blood, or your fluid was for him as much as for me. Oh Lord, help me turn nothing crimson. But now, until he's out of office, let me be direct as a nail. Let me be firm as a hammer. Jonathan Fletcher. Let's see. Thank you, BWOMS. Thank you, Richie, Kit, the Monday regulars, and the people on YouTube. Make time for yourself in these tense times. Peace and love. Aloha.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Ed. Had to peep the shirt in the background. That's always fun. Love the El Paso cap, of course. Always a big fan of those. I have one that's very similar that I wore out pretty much. But yeah, but the BWOM shirt in the background, those of you watching live, you have to go back and rewind, or you're gonna have to catch the replay because we do have a replay available pretty much as soon as this show ends. But there's still plenty of show left. We're gonna stick around in El Paso and our good friend who made it to the UTEP Prospector article, a picture, because they had to go take photos at the poetry night. But we got big things planned for David. But right now, to read some of their amazing words, we got David Latif next up on the mic. David, when you're ready, take it away.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, uh the Mike the I hadn't heard. And I was going to read one of hers, but it's uh, all of my poetry's in boxes right now. Um Today is International Non-Binary People's Day, so I'm going to read some poetry about my experience being, yeah, my experience being non-binary and being trans, and yeah, talking about that. This is called On Trying to Explain What Being Non-Binary Is Like to a Man. So here's a graph. You like graphs, right? Men like graphs. He's like graphs. I said he's like, but like he's, but like more. Oh, we can call multiple men they. Okay, perfect. So, after a lot of research, I've determined the boundaries of your system, very labeled here very clearly in pink and blue. Now imagine that there's what's called a gradient. You might need to ask your artist girlfriend what that is. You place man here and woman here on these two infinitely small points, and I and my people existed in this region, and this is only a one-dimensional graph. This can be expanded in 2 and 3 dimensions that you'll learn about if... Wait, where are you going? You don't want to learn? Oh, okay. This next one is called I'm Tired of Being Brave. Or strong, or whatever else people say when that they think is praise for existing as a neuroqueer person. They say that to everyone who's going through it. But I know how strong and brave I am for strongly and bravely standing up for the controversial right for trans and disabled people to be visibly trans and disabled. I know because it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be brave and strong enough to fight with every legislator and teacher and boss I've ever had about my right to exist, and all I want is to stop being strong. I need a break from being brave. I need someone to come help me to not just call themselves an ally, but to actively be one. This next one is called A Letter to Myself to be Delivered in 2030. Dear friend, I hope you're better. I hope you're in a better place, either geographically or metaphorically. I hope you did the things that I wanted to do. Emptied the box full of projects, finished them all, and filled it with new ones. I hope none of our friends died. I hope that you're still alive, and if they did, I hope that you're still alive to carry their stories. I hope that things get better somehow. I hope that you're far more trans than I am now, leagues away from the closet door, unneeding of its shelter. I hope that you're at home, regardless of where you are. I hope you got better. This last one is called Mystery Novel Transition. Everyone was surprised when I came out as trans, and I can see how, in the moment, you could be. But if you were paying attention, unlike me, the signs were there. There are some people who knew from the moment they bravely stepped out of the womb with a blue and pink and white banner who they truly were. But for me, it was a mystery novel in which I was both author and character. And when it all comes together, Cheryl Holmes explains, "Can't you see they aren't a man?" And goes on to explain all the clues I myself had missed in writing this very story. So many queer instances in both senses of the word that I had overlooked as I myself experienced them. The yearning for freedom to be something else, to break out of this masculine malaise like a cage made out of stoicism and business suits beaten black and navy blue, the way I stared longingly at lipstick and eyeliner, at women with short hair, at men with long hair, at people who were who I wanted to be. The buffoon poet didn't know they were trans the whole time. Thank you. You can find my Substack on, or you can find my poetry on Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. I'm going to share the link so people can, so Richie can share that on the YouTube. Yeah, that has links to my book, my Instagram, my Blue Sky. I hardly use those. If you can find my Tumblr, good for you. Don't tell anyone what it is. You're not allowed. That's a secret between you and me. All right? Thank you, Richie, so much for doing this. Thank you for giving me home. As you can see, I am packing up. I'm going to be moving to Colorado at the end of this month. In the Denver area. I'm going to be in Littleton. So, Michael, you know where that is. But yeah, I'm going to be moving, and my time in El Paso has been a very long time. I've been here essentially 30 years, minus the time I was away in college and the 3.5 years that I spent in being born and growing out of my babyness into childhood in Illinois, but this has been home for me, and more than anything, Richie, this has been home for me. The Barbed Wire Open Mic series has been a home for me in dark times and in bright ones, and I'm so glad to have this online space to continue coming back to, because in a way I don't have to leave home. So thank you.
Oh wow, I love that. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how public you were on all that, but yeah, those boxes made it very tangible. But yes, we are online, and that's a beautiful thing that we can still connect that way. And so we pretty much all agreed that we're gonna have a farewell feature for David at Old Sheepdog on the 31st. So if you guys are in Old Paso, come through and say bye. We'll do a special featured reading for David and have a send off. Always bittersweet because we'll miss you, but on to, hopefully good opportunities and all that. So, man, it's beautiful. Thanks, David. Freak. All right, cool. Let's get I need to get back to this. Right. Okay. So let's go on ahead and who's next? Hey, we get to stick around in El Paso and we have Robin Schofield. We got a nice shout out from Tumblewords already here, and Tumblewords always brings great writing and great writers like Robin, who has been part of it for so many years and has delivered so many great workshops. But a lot of her writing has developed because of Tumblewords, and there's a lot of cool new stuff on the way too that we've been hearing at the live mic. So without further ado, Robin. Happy Monday. Good to see you when you're ready.
Thanks, Richie. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody, live audience, and those of you out in YouTube land. Those of you in the future, hope you're having a good time. I thought since it's Bastille Day, I would wear the tricolors, and I thought I would read some poems. I think they're about freedom. Maybe not the third one. I think it is. But freedom not in France, but in the USA. And the first one is called At the Table in the USA. The Koch brothers seemed so much like fairy tale dragons hoarding their black gold, discussing filthy lucre around their ornate, overwrought dining room table. But they weren't. They were real. Filthy rich and ran libertarians, no concern for the commonweal. There was a certain Pastor Jones of Florida burning President Obama in effigy, not getting in trouble for it. He moved on from burning Korans. He called him Hussein Obama as he sat at the head of his dinner table with his wife and children. On the other hand, we didn't call Bush Jr. president until the second term, when he was actually elected instead of chosen by the Supreme Court. Our Vietnamese exchange student, afraid the police might come any minute for what we said around the dinner table. Florida purges the voter rolls as the elderly sit around their diminished dinner tables. People of color haven't had much say at the table to begin with. A group of college kids sitting around a card table playing poker wonder why their blue city in Texas is divided into 4 safe Republican districts ending hundreds of miles away. The Greeks invented democracy, yes, but also the idea of inherited slavery. Jefferson, no idealist, but one who pursued happiness. His writings never invited Sally Hemings to the dinner table. This one's also about an early American. I guess that was somewhat about Jefferson. But this one is about Abigail Smith Adams, wife of a president and mother of a president. It's called No Subservient Woman. Abigail Smith Adams wrote to John, "Your set of laws should include us as well, or we should rise up and speak for ourselves. vote for ourselves, and own ourselves. It may have taken a century or two, but we are not chattel since the 1890s. We own ourselves and our property now. We can choose whether to have children. We can apply for a credit card on our own since the 1970s, thanks to RBG. Don't we have rooms of our own, she sheds, and such? 1 century after our great-great-grandmothers, like Susan B. Anthony, went to jail for voting, the ownership of our bodies is in doubt, assailed by pious men of dubious character in the Congress and below, demanding ultrasound wands be thrust up into our vaginas if we demand to own ourselves, including reproduction. Will the question never be over whether we can choose to have children or not? When we own ourselves, some men are afraid. When we own ourselves, our rights cannot be taken. Once I thought the poem was finished there. The rights can be taken when 3 Catholics and 2 abusers sit with the Supremes, when a seat has been stolen from the Democrats. Your set of remarkable laws, she said. She said they were remarkable. And this one, I think, is about maybe many things, but personal freedom. It's called My Roan Stallion. My roan stallion waltzes through twilight. My roan stallion on his heron legs. My roan stallion lives in a house, not a barn. My roan stallion with his lamps and his books. My roan stallion graces the table. He says amen to the hollow bones. I eat with my roan stallion, falafel and tabbouleh and hummus. My roan stallion has come from the Middle East, but he will not go back to the olive tree. My roan stallion dances to the radio blues. Once he starred in Preservation Hall. My roan stallion rows a boat on Caballo Lake. I worry that he will go too far. My roan stallion with a lantern for a face. Give him a deck of playing cards. My roan stallion is the king of diamonds. He is not the measure of a man's worth. He measures himself by tufts of grass, by snails and mockingbird song. My roan stallion purifies me in the black range. He will break my bad habits once and for all. My roan stallion will at least have to think of the women he stalls in their tracks. My roan stallion cannot be taken too seriously. He will eat the pretenders alive. My roan stallion will jump out of my hat. Beware when you see him fall into the future. True, I have thought of him as mine, but the roan stallion wouldn't like being owned. All right, I don't have a cover poem tonight. So good that Ed read too. And back to you, Richie.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Let me get myself back in the spotlight there. Thanks for the readings. As always, appreciate it. I went for the first time to Margin Notes just because I'm not really in that area, but I saw copies of your book there. That's always really fun to see. Um, yeah, I took a little video. I'll be posting it later, but always trying to promote our local peeps as well. I wanted to, man, also shout out to Sandy. She made a great observation, back to back, that both you and David have boxes in the background there, both filled with books and poetry hidden in them. So like that's cool. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not moving though.
oh yeah, she said for different reasons. She did say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm remodeling my study.
I think we had mentioned it too in the past, but that might also been after party stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, I thought that was a cool observation that Sandy made. Okay, yo, so we're gonna go ahead and let's see. We're gonna move along. I think we're gonna move West Coast, but to an undisclosed location. That's how they signed up. But many of us know her and love her. She's such a huge instrumental person in the scene, you know, and in the programs that she does as well. So it's been great to have her coming by and sharing some work. It's time for Finn Bell. Finn, when you are ready, go ahead and take the spotlight. Hey.
Hey there. Thank you so much, Richie. Um, Good evening to everybody. I hope that it has been a relatively calm day despite everything. I just want to share 3 poems tonight. 2 of them covers, and then one of them is a short one of my own. I only found out earlier today that Andrea Gibson had passed away. I found out through a post, a conversation between CP Mays and Lacan, and I'm still processing that, and my heart is so heavy. I'm devastated. I came upon Andrea's poetry by chance. I was looking for poems at the library, and I came upon their book. Oh my God, I can't remember the title. It had lightning in the title, and I was hooked from that point on. I looked them up further, and I was able to find performances that they did on YouTube, and I'm just always astonished by the kinetic energy of their voice and the authenticity of it. So I wanted to share 2 of their poems, one in the beginning and one at the end, and then my poem in between, because I kind of want my poem to be embraced in the comfort of these 2 beautiful poems. So this is called 2 Birds, and the epigraph is Derek Brown. Love is the only war worth dying for. When you ran for the border, I spent 3 months calling your name till I watched your feet leave our country. And I bunkered down in your cheerleader pajamas to stare at our photograph of the 2 birds. 2 birds. Give me 1 stone or a rifle. I'll collect the feathers from the ground to make pens, to write poems about Obama. Remember how we fucked in the bathroom stall during his inauguration at Invesco Field. Later in our seats, you held my hand and said, "Look at Michelle. She is so in love." There were so many snipers in the stands when the fireworks startled us in the stairwell. I thought for sure we were being bombed. For 5 minutes, we sprinted, frantic through the tunnel. I kept saying, "I love you, I love you, I love." I thought for certain I would turn to dust in your arms. Dear love, I hope your new home is beautiful. I hope you rise to your feet every time she sings her anthem. I hope your hand is forever on your heart. I hope your heart is forever safe. Here at home, they are saying Obama is not the saint we had hoped he would be. I wonder if you still notice that Michelle is still in love. In a short poem, my poem is titled Color of the Week. Thursday mornings call in the comfort of soup, in defiance of what the day's weather brings. Pale blue-gray lined clouds make the day appear brighter, but without the companion of warmth. I left summer behind too many years ago. Sunlight was an embroidered sunflower on a dress that floated on buttered up toast breeze. I lift the firm wheat noodles up high. A glisten of oil and red pepper flakes cling on to each snaking length. Scent dances on the air And I think of your impossibly narrow snoot, velvet black nose, testing flavors in the steam rising, boba eyes shining and eager. Ramen captured with cheap wooden chopsticks paints brief happiness against a cheerless kitchen backdrop. I let the bowl go cold. And then I wanted to finish with another poem. This one is from Andrea's Pole Dancing to Gospel Hymns. The poem is The Moon is a Kite. From the other end of the phone line, my little sister says, Andrea, poppy flowers are beautiful. I say, you're right. And I want to say, and landmines look like toys to children until their limbs explode and their families find the bodies in ditches on the side of the road. Our mother is crying herself to sleep again tonight. Your daughter is in my arms, wondering where you are. In the morning, the sunbeams will look like jail bars. Please come back. Please. I'll breathe, I love you, dream, until the needles can't compare. I'll tether my veins into thread and stitch them through your torn seams. I'll scream light into your bruises, still lives beneath your track marks. You could stand on the cliff of my heart and shout nothing but ugly through me. I promise all I will echo back is beauty, beauty, you have always been beauty. Did I ever tell you on the day you were born, I stopped believing in Jesus and started believing in you? And sometimes it's the metal in the wind chimes that reminds us how soft the breeze is. So even when you grew like a switchblade, pupils dilating the apocalypse, movie junk in your veins than blood, more rage on your lip than love, I still believed in you. I knew you blew this world a kiss and no one blew it back. And I wish I had a roadmap back to that time before the first time you mainlined midnight in a search of an escape. I wish I had your back that night. I wish I had told you life is going to hold you at gunpoint. But time usually comes with the white flag. Because right now there's a body bag around the sky. And every time your daughter cries, I see chalk outlines of crucified angels. And I'm not sure I'm strong enough for this. I can see the veins in my wrist too clearly. We're more alike than you know. If your daughter's heart is beating, I can see her pulse in the soft spot on the top of her head. In the other room, our mother is asleep and dreaming now of the way we were when we were babies like her. And maybe we'll never be that new again. Maybe there will always be days when the sunbeams look like jail bars. Maybe it will seem we have more scars than lifelines sometimes, but I've found it's always worth trying to find a way to walk away from the landmines and hope you come back with your skin intact enough to drink the moonshine, girl. I know you think this world is too dark to even dream in color, but I've seen flowers bloom at midnight. I've seen kites fly in gray skies, and they were real close to looking like the sunrise. And sometimes it takes the most wounded wings, the most broken things to notice how strong the breeze is, how precious the flight. So I'm still not believing in Jesus. I'm still believing in you. I'm still telling your daughter the moon is a kite attached to a string that's held by your mother. And I promise she's coming back soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, very somber day indeed. I'm gonna share your links, vocabulary links. Thank you so much for joining us. I have it right here. So in case anyone here in the chat wants to check out any of the events that she puts on, let's and also everyone on YouTube. Also shout out to Deep Thought, the lyricist. Hello, hello. All right. You finally made it to one of these. Oh, to be fair, you're in the chat. We wanted you in the Zoom room sharing some poetry, but yeah, we're here every Monday. So if you ever have a chance, you can find the link to sign up in the description of the video. All right, but I just shared Finn's link there. A lot of events going on. Yeah, a lot of us are feeling that loss today. So that's where we're at. Okay, so um also Brian made it, so little adjustment to the list, but we're gonna go ahead and go to right outside New Orleans, Louisiana, where we have Sam Hardy, who is the author of Love Lost Volume 1 and 2 and is working on a new collection. Sam has been making it on Mondays, and we love that. So Sam, when you are ready, go ahead and take the stage, take the mic. Hello.
Thanks a lot. Hope everybody's doing good. I wrote a few poems this week. Excuse me. So I'm going to read those. First one is called Terms Not Accepted. I was not born to be small, not carved from harsh, not designed to disappear. I will not acquiesce or negotiate who I am with you. I will not barter my skin, trade soft-spokenness for your comfort. I will not reshape my words to fit your blueprint. I will not shrink, smooth, hush, or squeeze into the closet of your design. I will not silence myself, not for you, not for the world, not for the ghost in the mirror who once begged me to be small. I will not unbecome to make you whole. Apologize for taking up air, for burning too bright, for loving too hard. I will not dim my shine, soften my blaze, or make my survival a polite antidote. I am unapologetic, unbargained, beautifully broken, and untouched by your demands. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. The next one I just wrote this morning is called Wildflower Rebellion. I always hoped I would grow into my life. I didn't want to just grow into somebody's wife. I wanted to be like a wildflower, planted, watered, nurtured. But no matter how much I pleaded, nobody heard. I wanted to be meant to be somewhere. I wanted to belong to someone or something that might actually care. I taught myself to smile even when sad. I taught myself to look on the bright side even when the outlook was bad. I taught myself to keep my voice inside and small, to hold it there, quiet, curl my fist into a ball. But silence didn't suit me. My flowers began turning into weeds. I had to speak out if I was ever going to get what I need. Now, years later, they say I'm too defiant. They want me to be small again. But what they don't see is I'm just another David in a giant's land. And my last one is called No. I'm going to give you content warning because, I'm writing a book for survivors of sexual assault. So a lot of my poems lately are on that topic. This one is called No. I lie there for a moment. I don't move. I don't know if I can. My thighs ache. I close my eyes. I try to gather myself. But then he's there again. In my mind. On top of me. Bad idea. I reopen my eyes. It's dark. Where am I wonder? Then I remember. I am hit by guilt like torpedoes. Why did I do this? I didn't even know him. I instantly blame myself. I try to move my head. There's blood. Instead, I call 911 and I wait and I think and I regret. But my inner voice whispers back to me, I did say no. I did say no. I did say no. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Love the hat there, poet hat. Sometimes you just gotta put it on, right? And of course, you don't have links yet to stuff, huh? Always, or oh, you
I
got you
have a
muted.
link tree. I'll put it in the chat.
Please, yeah, I'll definitely share that. Yeah, glad you
Okay,
can.
cool.
Perfect. Okay, so Um, once again, like I said, if you are tuning in, this is our online mic. We're here every Monday. So if you ever feel like you want to share something, we also welcome music. We do have some music later on in the show, so stick around. But if you are a singer, songwriter, musician, then yes, please come through as well. We love to hear your music, whether it's a cappella, instrumental, a combination of the two, covers, and especially originals. We love to hear your work. And again, if you're in the Paso region, come check out our songwriter workshop this Thursday. Okay, so that was a quick plug. But we're gonna go ahead and he made it. So we added him back on the list. It's Generalissimo out in Maine is gonna share some work with us. All right, so Brian, let me get you here on the spotlight. Where are you?
I'm a
Sometimes
painting.
it's always hard. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I am not a cat. Okay, so Brian, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello.
Right. Thank you very much, Richie. So um this is my latest poem. Why the poem reader told me I need a few I need an extra hand or two. To say I have only one personality would be an understatement. It's just that whatever happens in my life tends to influence my attitude from any second of any minute, of any hour, of any day, of any week, of any month, of any year, of any decade, of any century. Of course, if fate determines I will make it to a century of waking up alive and kicking, there's the me that can't keep a train of thought from derailing into a world of tangential exponentials, which happens more than often in conversations with other people, as well as conversations with myself, which aren't necessarily practice conversations I plan to have with other people. Then there's the hyper focus me when I'm thinking a poem or painting a painting or creating a culinary masterpiece, which more than often might be considered a masterpiece by only me, or when I intentionally insert dirt under my fingernails whilst planting plants to produce fruits and flowers and leaves for food, tea, and potpourri. Then there's the neurotic me that I inherited from my stereotypical Jewish brother, who I believe exerted at least 75% more neuroticness toward me than my two older brothers, who claim she wasn't that neurotic, but as a certified intentional peer support specialist, I feel all types of wrong about her being present to defend herself because she currently resides in the Jewish center in Mobile, Alabama, beneath a grave and with a line of arms when you're smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you, which with me in one might encounter is the same person I was born as in 1966, a neurodivergent gay Jewish poet who was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and has subsequently lived in Jacksonville, Florida twice, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Mobile, Alabama, Gainesville, Florida. Oops, I'm not scrolling. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Los Angeles, Manhattan, Mobile again, then Portland, Cape Elizabeth, Pittsburgh, Brunswick, all in Maine. Who am I is a conglomeration of my parents and my brothers, as well as family and friends and every place I've lived. To say I have only one personality would be an understatement. At less than 2 weeks shy of turning 59, I have no doubt I have more new personality waiting in the wings. And then these next pieces, were just accepted for publication in The Alien Buddha Gets Isolated and Weird. And if you go to my Facebook page, I have, and scroll down a bit, you'll find the information to submit for that. Okay, and the first is called Trigger Warning for Bad Metaphors About Cannibalism. If I didn't define myself, I'd be crunched into other people's fantasies and eaten alive. Altar Lord. If I were captured by a cannibal, I'm not sure how good I would taste. It might depend on whether I showered with Dr. Bronner's peppermint or tea tree oil castile soap. It might depend on if I just woken had yet to shower. It might depend on the cannibal's prejudged opinion of how I live my life. It might depend on if the cannibal read any of my poetry and which poems the cannibal read. After all, when I have allowed others to cannibalize my life, the way a cannibal treats me or what I might think a cannibal thinks of me will determine certain unknowns. Would I be eaten alive, dead, raw, or cooked? Would I be a Brian Tartar or a Brian Burger? Would I be seasoned with a secret recipe dry rub that smoked low and slow? I hope the cannibal would not boil me, but if the cannibal did, I hope they'd save the Brian broth and freeze it for future soups, stews, and sauces. Excuse me. Truth be told, anyone I let cannibalize me will most likely not care how I am prepared. And from my personal experience of history repeating itself, whenever I have allowed someone else to cannibalize me, I always tend to provide them with the cutlery needed to finish the job. This is called boiling up a batch of compliments for supper. A nice compliment can be like a boil in need of lancing. The doctor or nurse must wear both a mask and face shield because no one knows if what's inside will spray like a champagne bottle or simply ooze. It will most likely need to be further squeezed to expunge filling that is never just pus or just blood or just some other fluid that is unknown to non-medical personnel. Its shape will soon deflate and disappear, but unless its subcutaneous sac is fully cut out, it will recur in a slightly different form, filled with a slightly different mix of whatever. Its return will be felt with a slight stinging sensation, and a need to pop it to alleviate the sting will be enormous. Each next doctor's visit upon recurrence seems futile and expensive, without a guarantee of permanent discontinuation. That's why I can't bring myself to trust a verbal compliment. A compliment might only exist to humor the recipient. A compliment might only exist in a backhanded fashion, laced with sarcasm and outright bitchiness, or it might only exist to be remedied with an alternate truth, an emotionally abusive burn from a verbal branding iron of low self-esteem transference. Enough false compliments can sting like a recurring boil whose skin gets thicker after each reincarnation, with lessening fluid levels, eventually taking up permanent residence as a benign lump with nothing inside except scar tissue. And this one was also in my book, How to Turn Your Home into an Indoor Amusement Park. When dizzy happens, you might sit or lie down to stop the room from spinning. But when life continues to spin out of control, everything that seems to be on a forward trajectory can act as a doorstop for everything else. Your overwhelmness becomes a tumor hidden beneath your skin no one knows about unless they touch you, but you successfully block touch by allowing unlimited Reiki while denying fingertip access with a level of deftness that has them avowing how smooth your skin is. The fog released from the breath of your words is a barrier that blocks their sense of touch from knowing it has not achieved touching. You can be as disoriented as possible while tricking the world that your life is an Olympic perfect 10 balance beam routine because the gymnast on the beam is a hired ringer with your face temporarily tattooed to theirs. Every room in your house is a different dizzying ride. Playground roundabout, spinning teacups, tilt-a-whirl, G-force astronaut training exercise. You think if you practice enough, you'll become dizzy tolerant. But when you're punch drunk dizzy more often than not, your tolerance will only be visible in the funhouse mirror you use while shaving away yesterday's bad decisions, every new today in which you find yourself existing. I'll do one more. Is that the last? I think that's the last one there. Hold on. And that is the last one there. So thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you, Brian. Your work is always, man, it's such a frenzy, it's a flurry, and it takes us places, and we've missed it. So that, of course, everyone is Generalissimo, and if you have any links, feel free to post it in the chat. I will forward. Again, everyone in the live chat, hello. It's good to know you're here. And again, we don't know who's watching, so if you guys can help us out, say hello in the chat. Let us know you're there. Leave a nice comment. If you hear a line that really connects with you in a certain way, shout out to Jesse. Hello, good to see you again in the live chat. But right now we have a new friend on the mic who is from Tijuana, but is visiting El Paso. Going to share some original music. Making their debut is where's the gimmick? And I'm gonna shut up so you can turn on your original sound. And when you're ready, we will get you on the mic. Wait, where are you? Wait, are you still here? Oh, wait, did he leave? Hold on. Got to do some Zoom investigating. So for those of you watching on YouTube, when I say where are you, if you it's probably been a while since you've used the Zoom interface, right? There's like a screen where you can see everyone, but if there's multiple people, you gotta go through like a couple different windows. Oh no, did he leave? Did we miss that? Oh, he did. He left. Anyway, he's visiting El Paso, so hopefully we get to hear his music, or he may come back. So if he does come back, maybe we can sneak him in the list. But again, these are every Monday. If you do want to join us, it's as easy as signing up. The link to sign up can be found in the description of these videos. So if you see it set up, then come on through. What else? Subscribe to our link tree. If you subscribe to our link tree, that is the quickest, fastest, easiest way to be notified as soon as the newest sign up link shows up. We also post other things on there that you can check out, ways to support, buy merchandise, media stuff. Like I said, we're recently featured in an article from our college newspaper. If you want to read that, I'll post that later. But in that case, let's go ahead and continue on then, and we're gonna come back to El Paso, where we have Mr. Monday Night, Kit Ren, who's always name dropped throughout the show, of course, and Tumblewards as well is always name dropped. So, Kit, when you are ready, I'm gonna go ahead and get you on the spotlight. Yo, yo.
Hi. Yes, thank you very much, Richie. Thank you, everyone. I don't have all the answers, but I know who does. Governor Knife. He'll set things right. Okay. We're gonna do a couple of things that might be a little undercooked, and then all I really know for sure is the cover poem, but yeah. People who hate poetry still use poetry when they are confronted with the capricious but occasionally beautiful ways of the world. I don't know if poetry is what I write or what I observe, or what I notate, what I encase in tinted glass bottles. But feelings die quickly, and even the strongest chords are just reverb the morning after. So, if poetry is an animating lightning bolt, then perhaps I am the lightning rod, volunteering to continuously feel new love for everybody I meet. Because nobody likes to be told to smile more. And so the optimal strategy is to remind people that they're already smiling. To sneak up on the man suddenly arrested, constrained by his thoughts more muscular than he is, and say, "Don't worry about it. I saw it too." Mm. Truffaut said that it's impossible to make an anti-war film. The imagery of war, provided it's at a safe enough distance, is inherently seductive. Yeah, I've seen Platoon, and Apocalypse Now, and Full Metal Jacket. No one could call those movies subtle. They've inspired many to enlist anyway. My friend who enlisted had the whole run of MASH on DVD, which wore its anachronistic pacifism on its chest. None of the villains in the 4077 were deal breakers. Truffaut's hypothesis? Stand up to scrutiny. But then what do I do with these poems? Owen, Sassoon, Graves, Tim O'Brien, Phil Clay, you can't seem to write a pro-war poem. Even when you try, it sounds like a joke or a commercial jingle. Nakedly false, not even trying. False stick dangling rudely. Everyone watching a war from a safe enough distance longs to test themselves in the transformative fire. Everyone since transformed mourns that it took fire to do it. Okay. One more finished one that's been through the fire. The robot that was supposed to do my laundry is painting instead. I feel no urge to be kind. It looks like shit. The robot is not discouraged at all by my berating him. Begrudgingly. I respect this. The robot has just downloaded the Impressionist expansion pack. His water lilies are uniformly blurred and regimentally dabbed under a mismatching Van Gogh sky. I tell him, your mother was a condom machine, and bitterly continued to darn my Daffy Duck socks. He doesn't have the language for this. The robot is afraid. His precision is informed by his fear. His fear guides his parameters. His parameters lead his calculations toward what the most people will look at and say, oh, that's nice. I keep telling him, art is not nice. Art is not what people love. Art is what people need. And by the time they figure it out, it's gone. The first time Spring Awakening was ever staged in America, the audience burned the theater down. Now it's a fucking musical. It was dangerous. And after a rehash, it's corny. You're corny. We're supposed to be dangerous. The robot whirs and clicks like a tape deck. He doesn't understand. But he tries anyway. Begrudgingly. I see a lesson in that. And yes, it's all very somber today because of the death of Andrea Gibson. I learned of their work through Mike Sindler, who kicked us off with a wonderful tribute to his fellow Colorado resident. And I learned today that they had this cancer that killed them for the entire time I was aware of their work. And that's really special that apparently until today, they were still writing. Stories like that really get to me. As a lot of you know, I had a best friend in high school who died of Ewing sarcoma when he was 19, and he played guitar until he couldn't. He also survived a lot longer than initial prognostication. But want to conclude this set with an Andrea Gibson poem, which is entitled, "In the chemo room, I wear mittens made of ice so I don't lose my fingernails. But I took a risk today to write this down." Just from the title, you know you're in good hands, right? So yes, this is that poem by Andrea Gibson. Whenever I spend the day crying, my friends tell me I look high. Good grief. They finally understand me. Even when the arena is empty, I thank God for the shots I miss. If you ever catch me only thanking God for the shots I make, remind me I'm not thanking God. Remind me all of my prayers were answered the moment I started praying for what I already have. Jenny says when people ask if she's out of the woods, she tells them she'll never be out of the woods. Says there is something lovely about the woods. I know how to build a survival shelter from fallen tree branches, packed mud, and pulled moss. I could survive forever on death alone. Wasn't it death that taught me to stop measuring my lifespan by length, but by width? Do you know how many beautiful things can be seen in a single second? how you can blow up a second like a balloon and fit infinity inside of it. I'm infinite. I know. But I still have a measly wrinkle collection compared to my end goal. I would love to be a before picture, I think, as I look in the mirror and mistake my head for the moon. My dark thoughts are almost always 238,856 miles away from me believing them. I love this life, I whisper into my doctor's stethoscope so she can hear my heart. My heart, an heirloom I didn't inherit until I thought I could die. Why did I go so long believing I owed the world my disappointment? Why did I want to take the world by storm when I could have taken it by sunshine, by rosewater, by the cactus flowers on the side of the road where I broke down? I'm not about to waste more time spinning stories about how much time I'm owed. But there is a man who is usually here who isn't today. I don't know if he's still alive. I just know his wife was made of so much hope. She looked like a firework above his chair. Will the afterlife be harder if I remember the people I love or forget them? Either way, please let me remember. Uh, the Tumblewords Project is something I run every or at least most Saturdays. It's a generative writing workshop. We're all about trying to get new stuff out there into the world. And this Saturday will be hosted by Finn Bell, who you already saw tonight. We're in safe hands with her, and they'll be drawing a map because it will be our topic is emotional topography. Isn't that fun? Little map. And then the week after that, I'll be doing a workshop about Alice Notley, who also died this year. But we'll be looking at some poems of hers and, taking inspiration and lessons from that. And I will be the host at Old Sheepdog, where we'll have a special feature as David moves away to Colorado. Best of luck up there. I really appreciate your words about this Mike being home. That's what it's been to me too. So we don't charge rent. Everyone's welcome here. So yeah, Old Sheepdog Mike, great venue. Always lovely stuff going on. Gus is a lovely person. It's great beer. And I'll be hosting the mic there. Would it be the 24th? Or the
31st.
The 31st. That's right. I know everything. July 31st. That's when I'll be hosting Old Sheepdog Mike. Well, I'll hand it back to the person that actually does know everything, Richie. Thank you all so much for being here.
That's a lot of pressure, but we do have a full list. So I'm gonna get everyone on. We're gonna go ahead and Julian Matthews is up next, joining us from Malaysia. And let me get the share screen option on. Julian, welcome to the chat. Oh, Lacan just made it back in the chat. So Julian, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hi. This is called absence of absence. I'm dry ice on your hot tongue. I melt and dissolve into your being. I'm inside you, a drop in your ocean. I'm the elixir of a poison potion. I'm the hammerake of absence, the anvil and chisel of loss, the clang of soulless misery, the soundless pang of succory. I'm the butterfly effect in your stomach, the last flutter filtered through memory, the wind's breath and the pong of sin, pixie dust, and milkweed on powdery wing. Play and replay my chime, the tick-tock of past crimes, the present a chafing presence, the future exits into another entrance. Enough is enough. Proclaim defeat. kingless reign, realm of the near insane, unloose the chain, resmelt in heat, coalesce like wax at candles' feet. The second is a condensed version of the nutritionish. Oh God, how do I pronounce it? Nutritionist. The trauma said, don't write this poem. Nobody wants to hear you cry about the grief inside your bones. But my bones said, write the poem. I've been told sometimes the most healing thing we can do is remind ourselves over and over and over, other people feel this too. There's no bruise like the bruise. Loneliness kicks into your spine. So let me tell you, I know there are days it looks like the whole world is dancing in the streets while you break down, loading your grief into the chamber of your shame. You're not weak just because your heart feels so heavy. I've never met a heavy heart that wasn't a phone booth with a red cape inside. Some people will never understand the kind of superpower it takes for some people to just walk outside some days. But my hands are always holding tight to the ripcord of believing. What I know about living is the pain is never just ours. Every time I hurt, I know the wound is an echo. So I keep listening for the moment the grief becomes a window, when I can see what I couldn't see before through the glass of my most battered dream. Let me say right now for the record, I'm still going to be here, asking this world to dance even if it keeps stepping on my holy feet. You stay here with me, okay? You stay here with me. Raising your bite against the bitter dark, your bright longing, your brilliant fists of loss. Friend, if the only thing we have to gain in staying is each other, my God, that is plenty. My God, that is enough. My God, that is so, so much for the light to give each of us at each other's backs, whispering over and over and over. Live, live, live. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julian. Let me see. Let me get back here in the spotlight. Awesome. Thanks for sharing those as always. And I shared your link already in the live chat. And right now we're going to welcome BD Music Studio to the mic, to the stage. So I want to make sure you're here with us. Awesome. There you are. Let me get you in the spotlight. Welcome. Thank you for your patience. I know long list, but when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello, hello.
Hello, thank you very much, Beta Recording Studio, and thank you very much, Richard, for having me, and appreciate everybody here. But we're doing a little cover. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time. Well, don't give me no comic book looks no more. Please don't use those same excuses you used before. Oh, yeah. You told yourself so many times it's okay. So eager to try, but you just don't know how to come back down. You beat me up and break me down, hoping I don't come around. Came when I'm on the ground. You beat me up and break me down, hoping I don't come around. Came when I'm on the ground. about them people? Well, you know the ones I mean. Not so good, not so bad, only know what they have, and they have only what they see. No, no, no. Them mediocre bad guys can really bring you down. They can't be defeated, and they always gonna be around. You beat me up and break me down, hoping I'll come around. Came on the moon round. You beat me up and break me down, hoping I'll come around. Came on them on the ground. Can we do one more? Is that right?
Yeah, do one more.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Beatty Recording Studio. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Brother Rich Marrufo. Appreciate your time. I hope this old train breaks down and I can take a walk around and see what there is to see. Cause time's just a melody with all the people on the street walking fast as a feet to take them. I just stroll through town, and though my window's got a view, well, the frame I'm looking through seems to have no concern for me now. I need this old train to break down. Ah, please just let me please break. I wanna break on down. This engine screams out loud, centipede's gonna crawl westbound. So I don't even make a sound. Gonna stay me when I leave this town. All the people in the street that I never get to meet, if these tracks don't bend somehow. And I ain't got no time for that, cause I got to get to where I don't need to be. I need this old train to break down. Ah, please just let me please break. I'm gonna break on down, but I can't stop now. Let me break on down, but I won't stop now. Thank you, BWOMS. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you. Awesome. Do you have any plugs or anything you want to share? Links, place is the studio available to check out for now or no?
You know what? We'll get something together, but as of right now, we're not anything. But we appreciate your time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you guys could join us. And again, thank you for your patience. I know it's later on in the night, but it was fun to hear the songs. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it.
All right, rock on. And again, for people tuning in, this is our online mic. Want to give a shout out to Hellbrook. What's going on, man? We also got Wall Poet in the chat. What's going on? Did you finish your open mic? You got your open mic on Mondays, right? Over there in Virginia. But oh, by the way, Hellbrook. So Thursday we got the songwriter workshop. Come on through. It's gonna be at Café con Leche. But we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing going. I said we get international, so we're gonna go to Manila, Philippines, where we have Lacan in the house. Lacan is iconic. All right, so when you're ready, the mic is yours. Hello, hello. Good to see you again, my friend.
Hey man, magandang tanghali. A beautiful noon to everyone. I'm Lakan and I'm from Maynila, Pilipinas. So good to be back here at BWOMS. But yes, I am joining everyone. A lot of poets who are experiencing the loss of Andrea Gibson today. Um, she was one of the first poets that I checked out when I started in 2017. And I would like to pay homage on my first poem, and then I'll do another poem later. First poem I'm going to do is by Andrea Gibson, How the Worst Day of My Life Became the Best. When I realized the storm was inevitable, I made it my medicine. Took 2 snowflakes and a tongue in the morning, 2 snowflakes and a tongue by noon. There were no side effects, only sound effects. Reverb added to my lifespan, an echo that asked, what part of your life's record is skipping? What wound is on repeat? Have you done everything you can to break out of that groove? By nighttime, I was intimate with the difference between tying my laces and tuning the string section of my shoes. Made a symphony of walking away from everything that did not want my life to sing. Felt a love for myself so consistent. Metronomes tried to copyright my heartbeat. Finally understood I am the conductor of my own life, and we will be even after I die. I, like the trees, will decide what I become. Porch swing, church pew, an envelope that must be lit to be closed. Kinky choice, but I didn't close. I opened and opened until I could imagine that the pain was the sensation of my spirit not breaking. That my mind was a parachute that could always open in time. That I could wear my heart on my sleeve and never grow out of that shirt. That every falling leaf is a tiny kite with a string too small to see, held by the part of me in charge of making beauty out of grief. Maraming salamat very much. My second poem, uh, which is part of the book that I will be releasing soon. Well, I'm still um, I'm still negotiating with some of the publishers, but let's see. Um, this poem is about my grandmother. I lost her in 2008, and the entire manuscript is about her and me and grief. This poem is titled Effigies of I'm Sorry. Grief has wings, made up of sepia photographs, oranged to steal a flailed sunset. Soaring in the crumpled memories, I try so hard not to prey on, remembering it's only been a week after I buried her, but the breath of color is as vivid as the condolences I still receive as a reminder I can never have her back. All I have are the albums of the unforgetting, a guardian angel of missing. Have I missed enough I love yous that snapped under her last breath, her last take care, her last thank you? Will this seraph of loss hover, the contrasts of mistakes, the hues of apologies found in every image of should and coulds? Would it be any different if wasn't a word regret had invented? But grief knows how to picture abandonment. My grandmother is gone, but why do I feel I was the one who left her? The one who first walked away, shut the door, the first one who made alibis, the first shunning, the first one who forgot birthdays and gifts. Wasn't I the first one to let go? Yet I'm the one who now prays with grief. I could have one more shot, one more smile, one more kiss, one more chance to embrace her. I can't. All I have are pain, floating, fluttering recreations and replications of the grandson I used to be. Because when your grandmother dies, you can never call yourself a grandson of someone because they're dead. You know what? I'm still here. And I'm still here. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, thank you for walking us through those pieces. I shared your social media as well as Poetry Global Network. There's always powerful pieces. All right. Hopefully go follow Lacan, go check out poetry, and we're gonna be looking for your book. Okay. Thank you so much. We're gonna get spotlight Lacan. Thank you. Yeah. Go check out Poetry Global Network. All they have going on. Lacan's got that. We're looking forward to when that does come out. Much love on the process. Oh, you're muted. I don't know. I saw you say something.
You know what? We've been doing this for 5 years, man. We still do it.
Yep. Awesome.
I was gonna say, PGN is in partnership with Poetry Festival Singapore again this year, and we have two shows. One is where we rounded up publishers and editors to talk about the publishing process and lift the veil and spill the tea. And then that's the title actually of the event, Spill the Tea. And then we have Bottoms Up on the 27th, the next day, at 8 p.m. Singapore time. So it's all available at www.poetryglobalnetwork.com. Thank you so much, Richie.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I for those of you watching on YouTube, go check out the live chat because you have the link there. All right, so we have a few more people left. We have a everyday regular up next. As you know, he's got jokes and poems. We're bringing it back to the States, and why not it be the capital, Washington, D.C. It's time for the one and only Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. When you're ready, take it away.
Thank you, my bro. Like no other words like thunder. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic my name is Ed Potastic. Hope everyone feeling fantastic. Please give me the time to join my rhyme. Follow sublime. I got 14 jokes and 4 mini poems. But the first joke is knock knock.
Who's there?
Hatchet.
Hatchet who?
Bless you.
Thank you.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Lettuce.
Lettuce who?
Let us in. It's freezing out here.
What are you talking about? It's 100 degrees.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tank.
Tank who?
You're welcome.
I see.
Knock, knock.
Boy, we're popular. Who's there?
Dishes.
Dishes who?
This is the police. Open up.
Never.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Okay, we're skipping right to the payoff there. Okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
Don't cry. It's just a joke.
Got a lot on my mind. Who's there?
Lena.
Lena who?
Lena, a little closer, and I'll tell you.
Okay, hang on.
Why did Waldo go to therapy?
Why did Waldo go to therapy?
Because he needed to find himself.
Oh, many such cases.
How does a pigeon, how does a penguin build his house?
How does a penguin build his house?
He glues it together.
Jesus.
What kind of music do chiropractors like?
I don't know. What do chiropractors listen to? What kind of music?
Hip hop. Where do you learn to make ice cream?
That's an important job. You probably need to go to school. Where do you go to learn how to make ice cream?
At Sunday school.
But that's just one kind.
What kind of shoes does a lazy person wear?
Ooh, what kind of shoes do lazy people wear?
Loafers.
That makes sense. Yeah, because they don't have to tie them.
Why is cold water so insecure?
Oh, well, that's sad. Why is cold water so insecure?
Because it's never called hot. And last but not least, why couldn't the bike stand up by itself?
Why couldn't the bike stand up by itself?
Because it was too tired.
That's some good shit, Ed.
Thank you, our wonderful kid. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed those jokes for you wonderful folks. All right. My first poem is called Never Alone. You'll never walk alone. You're not a rigid stone. One is the loneliest number that you ever do. Yet it's not about you, and you. Someone has your shoes. Don't be red, green, black, or blue. Someone knows what you've been through. One is okay, but nothing better than two. Remember, life can be a downer, but you're not a lone survivor. You can't have doubts, but smile, don't pout. Things can get scary or get a bit more hairy. You just need to find some friends. Why not learn something or maybe a trend? I'm naming a few suggestions for your inner or outer situations. Like they said, it's only in your mind. You're first or last, but never behind. Again, you're never ever alone. Don't stay in your personal twilight zone. And this other one's called Opinionated Bonnet. Opinions are anchors, heavier than a tanker. They fling them high, then it gets in our eyes. Oh, the lovely critics, you make us sick. You never hold back your words in packs. If it's not true, good fact, then keep it on your hat. I know freedom of speech, but I'm not paying you to preach. You think you're true, but it's not about you. How can you quickly judge? There's something called overjudge. No more telescopes. I don't want to be a dope. No more personal labels. My heart's not stable. I hear it on the news. People singing the blues. People and their opinions. Trying to understand this dominion. Why can't everybody understand? It's not your leg or your hand. Things are simply unique. If your mind has gone weak, if you don't have sympathy, then don't spread misery. It's about me, 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 me. It's about you. There's no history. But, 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 I don't like. But, you aren't so bright. Can I ask you, are you God? Did that sound odd? It makes you want to think. Now, you're a missing link. Thank you. And this is called Booked. I feel close as a red rose, with bookmarks scribbled in my pale heart, stuck on a bookshelf, contemplating with myself. I'm not like the others. Let's learn with one another. I'm a book just like you, whether you're old or new. You're written with memories out of each doodle of reality. You look pale, like you're under a spell, like a dog found to catch its tail. Yes, you're a walking, talking book. You say or do whatever to get us hooked. Your cover is art from the past, but I hope your good times were a blast. I know you feel kind of out of place, but it's your own personal grace. I know you feel stuck, overdue, but use your words to break through. I know you feel you're covered in dust, but what's iron without a little rust? You're written with a million tongues. Your story hasn't yet begun. You're thinking about this all while revolving around this ball. Please, book, don't stay empty. Why not fill up with poetry? Thank you. And last but not least, this is called Sweet Muse. It was a bitter fling. It is my everything. It was fire in my light. It was moon in my night. I write like a Mad Hatter. I kick like a extravagancer. Every session isn't the same. You can only waltz with the flame. Oh, Muse, you open up many doors. You fill my starving beating core. If it weren't for you, I'll be nothing. Well, nothing can create something. Thank you, my muse, for this community. Words can't describe how you changed my poetry. If you're looking for inspiration, my friend, when I look around or from within, sometimes writing is chaotic and hard, but everything will be easy if you loosen your guard. I've been there many, 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 many times before. It can be fun when you don't think it's a chore. Think of it as a maze or colorful puzzle. Think of it as exercise to empower your muscle. Thank you.
All right, Ed. Thank you as always for a great set.
You're welcome.
Any comments, points? How can people find you online?
Well, you can find me online while coming this wonderful Zoom open mic that makes our Monday night city light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, plus for free, my Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and if you send me a request, you take guess. The answer is yes. I'll be spitting my rhyme all the time to make you feel sublime. But always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
There it is. If you don't know, now you know. It's the bonus poem, the poem after the poems and the jokes. Thank you, Ed. And again, thanks to everyone who's been joining us online. Join us next Monday, or if you do live in El Paso, come check out any of our open mics in person. Again, this week we'll be at Rosewood on Tuesday. Wednesday, we will be at Crown of Crows. And Thursday, we will be at Café con Leche. That's a newer one, so I had to remember. Okay, but we have our closer, as we often do. Without further ado, we're gonna pass it along to Dan the Man. So Dan, when you're ready, take it away.
Okay. All right. Well, I have this poetry right here I think you may like. And trying to think. I have this poetry right here. Okay. I have this poetry right here, and damn. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. All right. I have this poetry right here. I think you'll like, and it is called "Faith in Our Own Words." So, yeah, and it's written by Veronica Zendel. So I hope you guys like this one. So, okay. So, yeah. Okay. It's a anthology. Yeah. To Any Poet by Alice Maynell. All right. To thou who singest thou the earth through the earth, all the earth wind sorry, wild creatures fly thee. Every thou merest mirth, dumbly they defy thee. There is something they deny thee. Pines thy fallen nature ever, for the unfallen nature sweet, but she shuns thy long endeavor, through her flowers and wheat, throng and press thy pausing feet. Um, though thou came a bird to love thee, press thy face to grass and flowers, and all these things reserved above thee, secrets in the bower and secrets in the sun and showers. Um, Sing thy sorrow, sing thy gladness, in thy songs must wind and tree bear the fictions of thy sadness, thy humanity, for their truth is not for thee. Wait and many a secret nest, a many hoarded winter store will be hidden on thy best. Uh, things thou longest for will not fear or shun thee more. Thou shalt intimately lie in the roots of flowers that thrust upon from thee to the sky, with no more distrust they when they blossom from thy dust. Silent labors through of the rain shall be near thee, reconcile, um, live lives of leaves and grain, all things shy and wild. Tell thee secrets, quiet child, earth set free from thy fair fancies, and the art thou shalt resign will bring forth her rue and pansies onto more divine thoughts and than any thoughts of thine. Nor will fear thee, humble creature, there will lie thy mortal burden, pressed onto the heart of nature, longless in a garden, with a long embrace of pardon. Then the truth all creatures tell, and his will whom thou and trustest shall absorb thee, there shall dwell silence, the completest of thy poems, last and sweetest. Okay, I know it's kind of too damn long, but yeah. It's To Any Poet by Alice Meynell, and it's page 62 of the Faith and Her Words by Veronica Zundel. It's featuring 100 women poets, 6th centuries make appearance, and yeah, some for the first time. Yeah, back 3 decades ago. Yeah, so damn. Yeah, if you know what I mean. Okay. All right, guys. I guess that is it for right now. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. And oh man, looks like didn't expect this would be out of sight and all the light, but then this light. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thanks to everyone who read tonight. As always, round of applause to you guys. Appreciate it. It was a lot of heaviness today. I mean, there's been a lot lately, right? But I want to highlight another local poet here in El Paso. Check out the book Still Desert, collection of poetry by my friend Daniel. This is from Bun Poetry, so you know, Bun Poetry supported Andre Gibson a lot of videos. So this comes out August 5th. So if you want to pre-order a copy, I think they're almost sold out of copies, but we're kind of working on some stuff, maybe some readings in town for the book. So as I said before, if you guys have not had a chance to do so, follow us on social media, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, and hope to see you guys around town. If not, see you guys next Monday online here on YouTube. And yeah, have a great week. Hopefully it's a great one for the live stream. That's it. Have a good night, guys. Peace.